All right about 10:31, back in New York. Here we go.
She comes over to see me at Mar-a-Lago. Sir, I will never run against you. She brought her husband. Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone.
Former President Trump taking heat for those remarks about Nikki Haley's husband. Let's bring in presidential candidate Nikki Haley. And I want to play for you Senator Rubio's response when he was asked about it this weekend, how he characterized it.
I think they're part of the increasing nastiness of this campaign and every campaign in American politics. I mean, they're calling him a grumpy old man. They're attacking Donald Trump. Trump gives as good as he gets. We know that. It's just part of these campaign cycles. Unfortunately, people don't like it.
I know that this is probably still on your mind. Give you a chance to respond this Monday morning.
It's disgusting. I mean, every bit of it's disgusting. You know, to sit there and mock my husband for not being with me on the presidential trail because he is deployed and serving our country. You mock one veteran, you're mocking all veterans. But this is a pattern, Dana. He's done this over and over again. Whether he went and calls military members suckers, whether he was at Arlington Cemetery saying what was in it for them, why would they do this? The problem with Trump is he's never been anywhere near a uniform. He apparently had some sort of foot reason that he says he couldn't do that. But the reality is the closest he's come to harm's way is a golf ball hitting him on a golf cart. These men and women sacrifice for us every day. They're willing to shed blood. That's the values that made this country great. And anybody that excuses what he continues to say against the military is hugely mistaken, because this is going to be the president of the United States. We have to start doing more to help our veterans. They don't get the due they deserve. They don't get taken care of. We've got to start watching out for them. You can't do that if you've got a commander-in-chief that disrespects them. Those are fighting words for the military. In South Carolina, we love our military. We fight hard for them. We want to make their lives better. We don't mock them. And what he did is just disgusting. And anybody that agrees with it or says it's okay is disgusting along with them.
In 2016, he did go after John McCain and question his service, his patriotism, his heroism. You did work for him after that as the UN ambassador. Did you ever bring it up with him?
There were many times that I told him that he was his own worst enemy. I mean, you can look in my last book. I talk about multiple things, but this is, look at the pattern. I mean, Dana, 70% of Americans say they don't want a Trump-Biden rematch. But now there's a poll out. 59% of Americans think Trump and Biden are too old. Now, you look at what happened with Biden, and he goes and he has a special counsel report that says he's mentally declining. But you look at Trump, he goes off script from a teleprompter for 2 minutes, and he criticizes the military, mocks my husband, but he also goes and takes the side of Putin in NATO and says that he would actually encourage Putin to invade our allies. This is what you're getting. We can do better than two 80-year-olds running for president. We need a new generational leader that will go 8 years, disciplined, focused, without the rhetoric, without the chaos,
but do
and
you
go
agree
forward.
that the NATO countries should pay up their fair share?
Dana, the NATO countries should pay their fair share, but let's not mistake the fact that when he said that, he put every military member in danger. He put every country in danger. Russia has never invaded a NATO country. That alliance is rock solid. It's a success story for 75 years. We want them to pay more, and we should do that. But the last thing you do is side with a guy who kills his opponents, side with a guy who has imprisoned Evan Gersovich because he was a journalist, side with a guy who's made no beef about the fact that he wants to destroy America, and you're going to side with a thug like that? What are we doing in America? And that's because he went off script. That's because they took him off he went off the teleprompter. That's what you're going to get, is unhinged chaos. And that only makes Joe Biden sound senile or sound sane. And so when you get Donald Trump making Joe Biden sound sane, it's more of the reason why Donald Trump can't defeat Joe Biden. They're taking everything he's saying and they're going to use it against him. But look at any of the polls. You look at that and you see he can't win a general election. And if he keeps talking like this and he keeps spending $50 million of his campaign dollars on personal court cases with the RNC broke, we won't defeat Joe Biden. We've got to do something else.
I did want to get in one last question, which is not to do with him necessarily, but with the head of the RNC. Ronna McDaniel, the chairwoman, is expected to step down after the South Carolina primary on the 24th. Do you have a person in mind that you think should lead the RNC?
You know, it's not about who should lead the RNC. What I worry about is you look at last week and you see all of the losses that Republicans had. Trump lost his case on immunity. Republicans lost their case on Israel. They lost their case on impeaching Mayorkas. Then you go and you have the RNC chair lose her job. Trump had his fingers in all of that. How many more times do we have to lose before we realize that he is the problem? He lost in 2018, he lost in 2020, he lost in 22, and he lost last week. This is a pattern that's going to lead us to a President Kamala Harris if we don't change course.
All right. And just to be clear, the Supreme Court has not ruled on the immunity case, but widespread agreement that that did not go well for the president's case. Nikki Haley, thank you.
Thanks. Go to NikkiHaley.com and join us.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.